This is the iPad 2018 6th generation model that I bought in 2019, and it has been 1 year since I have started using it. So the one thing that really got me excited about this iPad was the Shaper 3D app, which is available for all the iPad models. So I started learning this software, and thanks to the YouTube tutorials that are available. So one day I was reading this biography book on Elon Musk, and among other things that were given in the book, I was really excited by that Hyperloop design picture that was given in the book, which is supposed to be an advanced transportation method. So it wasn't until recently that I saw the competition by Shaper 3D on Instagram stories, and I started to think that if I were to make a model, then what it would be. So suddenly that picture of Hyperloop that I had seen in that book came into my mind. So I thought, yeah, let's give it a try. So before I started making it, I had a look on the various available sketches, for example the one in the book, and of course some other designs that were available. So it was easier for me to start making a simple basic diagram and then work towards the finer details of this model. For example, this pneumatic vacuum tube in which the Hyperloop is going to travel from point A to point B, and I started making a cage around it. Thanks to the user-friendly menu system of Shaper 3D, I could just create the multiple objects by selecting a single object and rotating its copies at a given central axis. Another thing was that how easily I could create one object, for example an air cushion in this case, and create its mirror image from a central axis. Then all I needed to do was to create multiple copies out of it. So once this ring cage was ready, I had to create the major body of the Hyperloop. I could just create another shape out of it and to extrude it over a given axis or a given plane. Use the chamfer and fillet option on the front part of this Hyperloop body to create a nice futuristic looking shape. Again, to make that body a hollow, I have to just use another offset from its outer body, and I had to use the extrude option on the negative side to create a hollow cylinder for the major object. So all number of bodies that were of same type were created. I just selected all of them each by one and created a folder so that I could select or deselect them all at once. So in order to create the best looking jet turbine, I had to only focus on just one singular fin and to make it as fine as possible. And then again, like the other things, I had to just select that singular fin, and along a given central axis I could just rotate it and create all the multiple copies. Since it had so many parts and other accessories at this point, of course my iPad used to slow down, but I was really surprised by its performance given the fact that it is the most basic iPad that you can get your hands on. So this is the part where I actually created those air funnels from one end to the other end, and I had to just sketch the design of the funnel on the front end or maybe on the back end of the plane of the body, and I had to just extrude it on the negative side so it would create an air passage that is supposedly helpful in the later parts of my design. Another cool thing about this model was to create transparent scissor doors. For this purpose, I actually created the copy of my main major body of the Hyperloop. I created the other body completely transparent so that it gives you a nice glass looking finish, and I subtracted that particular portion of that copy from the main body from which I had copied it, I made the windows or the scissor doors transparent because I really wanted to show what's inside of the Hyperloop, how the interiors look like. Speaking of interiors, I started by creating just one chair. This was again drawn in a singular plane and then extruding it in a given direction. The chamfer fillet and the extrude option were really helpful to give it a smooth finishing edge. So I put all the details that you would normally expect, such as long length, an arm base and a monitor for information. So once it was ready, I provided it a particular base and then created the multiple copies out of it, and that's how the interior looked like once it was ready. Ventilation of air from the initial turbine part to the end part. One thing that was really helpful in this particular process was the cross-sectional view of the Shaper 3D. Selecting any given plane and putting the cross-sectional view of it, there was no need to actually cut off or to hide some parts because the cross-sectional feature was already working for me. Another thing that I created to just give more finer details was this small filter system which I created using a mesh. Again, to design the air conditioning lining into the cabin, I used the cross-sectional view from the top end and designed the air conditioning system. I created these concrete bases for this entire Hyperloop, including the major body and the outer rings. I used some of the similar concrete structure on the top side of the Hyperloop body to represent the solar panels. After a couple of tweaking here and there, the model was ready and that's how it looked like. I exported all the 3D files and imported them into my PC. After importing it in the Blender, I created a different copies of the outer rings and the base structure by providing it a long length of streak. Added a couple of mountains in the front and rear end and on the sides. After adding the lighting and the camera positioning, I just started to render it at a particular given frame. Now providing the camera a discrete movement frame by frame, it would just really result in a picture at a different position, and adding all the pictures would result in a different animation. So this is how the final result looked like.